Hello everyone, meteorologist Jordan Darensberg here, and as we're taking a look outside right now, hold on a sec, I don't think that this is actually the right video here. Give me 1 second here. There we go, there we are here on KView, and we're going to be taking a look at the fact that we had actually the second warmest day of the year. And so I'm going to go ahead and we are going to break that down for you as we take it on over to the wall here. And as we take a look outside, that is a nice live look. Hold on a sec. Got to change a couple of things up right here. And we're going to go right there. Let's look outside. It's a nice live look right now. We are taking a look out at the Zach Theater weather camera, and we're looking at temperatures that got to the mid 80s at Camp Mabry and mid 80s also at the airport. The 85 at Camp Mabry, as a matter of fact, was actually the second warmest day of the year. So really good to feel that after that long winter we had. And this is a great way to start off meteorological spring. So definitely spring has sprung here in Central Texas. So a very, very nice afternoon in store for us. Now as we take a look outside once again at that same Zach Theater weather camera, we're looking at temperatures right now that are at around 80, and the airport is checking in at 75. So it is a very, very nice evening it is shaping out to be here in Central Texas. And as a matter of fact, we are in the lower 70s in places like Giddings as well as LaGrange, and we are in the lower 70s also in places like Llano, still holding on to that 80 here in town as well as in Bastrop. As we take a look at our allergens, maple and alder are checking in the low. Elm and cedar are high though. So if you're allergic to either of those, you want to make sure you have the allergy medicine if you're planning on heading out this evening. Also same story for your alternaria, even though mold is actually checking in the medium. Now for tonight, getting to the mid 50s area wide, but we're looking across the metro, pretty much the same story. Slightly cooler for the evening in places like Kyle as well as San Marcos. But as we head through the day tomorrow, look at this, upper 70s for a high, maybe even getting to around 80 in some spots, especially south and east of Austin, maybe even the northern hill country as well. Monday night into Tuesday, that's going to be the timeline we're going to be talking about in a little more detail here shortly, but I have a 40% chance of maybe a few of those storms Monday night into early Tuesday. But Tuesday's storm threat we're going to watch very closely, especially for our buddies in portions of Louisiana, Arkansas, and Mississippi, because it's looking more and more like they could have a bit of a severe weather outbreak by then. But it's mainly going to be north and east of us where we have the better chances for some of those strong storms as we zoom things out. There it is, Louisiana, Mississippi, as well as eastern Arkansas and western sections of Tennessee. Now, as we take a look at our future tracker, looking at around midnight on your Monday night into early Tuesday morning, we are tracking maybe a few of those isolated to widely scattered showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder. Then the main front comes in as we get closer to 7 a.m., maybe a few of those thunderstorms embedded in some of these light areas of showers. And then there's that line over the hill country. That is that main front that does move through. And by the time we get to noon, not only are we going to clear out, but as you see with those streamlines, it is going to be a little bit on the windier side. And we could have gusts getting up to around 40 miles an hour for your Mardi Gras afternoon. So you could start off with a few of those scattered storms, but we should be clearing later on if you do have any Tuesday night plans to ring in the Lenten season, which starts on Wednesday. But then by the time we get to Friday, South by kicks off, and we do get to the lower 80s with those mostly cloudy skies ahead of another front that could bring in a few of those scattered storms by the time we get to next Saturday. So we're going to continue to watch that very, very closely for you. And so definitely something that we are going to be on top of throughout the entirety of Central Texas. And the main chances of that severe weather is mainly going to be well off to our north and east. So something we're going to be watching very, very closely. And with that, we're going to put the almanac back up here. And I am going to answer some of your questions. Shelby says, gross. I have no idea what you mean by that, but if you're talking about the warm temperatures, then, you know, I'm more of a fan of them. But also, Trey McElwain says, boy, winter sure went by quick, didn't it? I mean, honestly, yeah, time flew by. I mean, a lot of people would argue that January kind of dragged on longer for reasons that I'm not going to get into. But by and large, this winter, it flew by. And honestly, that's what I like. I like those quick winters instead of those long, painful ones where we have cold snap after cold snap after cold snap. Even though we did finish February colder than average, even though the Climate Prediction Center predicted warmer than average temperatures for the month of February, because we did have that cold snap in the middle of February where we started off February the 19th with wind chills that were in the single digits. In some areas were even below zero. But again, it's pretty much what we've had so far this winter. Now it's gone and spring really has sprung, and over these next 7 days, and I'm going to pull up the boxes here and then pull up our 7-day forecast one more time, kind of highlight these temperatures very, very closely, because notice we're in the 70s for highs and even some lower 80s have popped up. That's pretty much going to be the art of the deal these next few months, folks, especially with March's temperature and precipitation outlooks. And I'm going to show you the temperature outlook first for the month of March. And what I'm going to show you is that there's that very high confidence level by the Climate Prediction Center that we are going to have above average temperatures during the month of March. So what that's going to mean is that those 70s and 80s that you've been seeing, expect more of that throughout the course of this March, which is the month of madness. If you're a college basketball fan, you probably understand what I'm talking about. But precipitation. Now, we need some rain. Let's go ahead and put it out there. But unfortunately, that is not happening. Because, look, we are more than likely going to have below average rainfall, so we're not going to see a whole lot. I think, honestly, for my money, we're looking at, hopefully we can get every drop we can get Monday night into Tuesday, especially maybe even Friday night into Saturday, because let's be real, it's not looking too great for our drought situation at all. Our drought situation likely is going to worsen. And also, this is kind of in line with a La Nina pattern here in Central Texas, so I thought I'd want to mention that. Well, Patricia has a question, and I'm going to answer that real quick from Facebook. So no more cold fronts. Well, not of the Arctic variety. Let's put it like that. Maybe a few Pacific fronts, yes, which has very limited cool down energy or that kind of thing. But Arctic fronts where we have like huge cold snaps behind them, no. We don't expect that anymore. But also, could have a few cool fronts where we could be slightly cooler here or there, but we're not going to get like too crazy cold anymore based off of the latest forecasts. Don't expect that, Patricia, to answer your question. Let's see if anyone else has any more questions here. We're expecting 70s and 80s over the next few days as well. So we're going to be looking really nice and warm. Do have that storm chance Monday night into Tuesday especially. I'm thinking early Tuesday morning is when that front makes its way through. And then we have those very windy and drier conditions behind it. We'll have to see if there is a bit of a fire risk associated with that. I think we're going to have a good look at it by the time we get to tomorrow evening at around this time. Hunter Williams is going to be in after the Oscars. I'm going to be providing your forecast before the Oscars, and we're going to have all of the details on that. So, Trey McElwain, my pleasure. Also, my pleasure, Patricia, as well. Wimberly's checking in. Hello, Michelle Johnson. Wimberly checking in. I actually filmed a promo there at Blue Hole, and Blue Hole, from what I saw, opened their swimming reservations for this summer. So, I mean, it's getting to be that time. swimming holes, Barton Springs Pool, even though it's closed for the next couple of weeks, Lake Travis, Lake Austin. We're getting to that time of year, folks. I know winter went by like that, and now we're getting close to another hot Texas summer here, y'all. So it's pretty much what we've got going on. So let's see. Who else wants to chat? Who wants to know the timing for their respective area for Monday night into Tuesday as of right now? We've got some high-res data, and that shows the timing of everything now, so I'm able to show a little bit more of that. So East Austin, Nick and Jay Lopez, how y'all doing? East Austin, let's go ahead and let's put the boxes back up. And I'm going to move my phone right here so that I can look at your questions while looking at the model data here. So East Austin, Ashley Lauren, let's go through what you missed here momentarily. We're going to time out this for our buddy Nick and Jay Lopez first before we get into everything. But by the time we get to midnight, y'all can have a few showers east of I-35. And then by the time we get to around 4:30, 5 o'clock on your Fat Tuesday, could have a little bit of a lull before another line of showers, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder by the time we get to 7, maybe 7:30 for you guys in East Austin. But then by the time we get to 8, 8:30, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, maybe that time if you're in Milam County, maybe y'all could have a strong storm, but that's my only real bet for any strong storm is going to be Milam County, because we're not going to be in that peak daytime healing by the time that front makes its way through. And there it is by the time we get to noon. Clear skies, temperatures in the low to mid 70s, maybe even upper 60s in the hill country, and quite windy as well. So Ashley, now that you're here, and for everybody else who's watching, let's go ahead and let's break down the forecast again, shall we? And for that, I'm going back to the wall. And we're going to show you that the sun is down, and the Slay All Day camera right there outside of the Zach Theater is really showing downtown in all of its glory. And we got to the mid 80s today, so not only did it look great outside, it felt pretty good. As a matter of fact, it is the second warmest day of 2025 so far. Temperature-wise, though, Camp Mabry's feeling lucky now. We were in the 80s for most of the afternoon. Now we're feeling lucky, getting to the upper 7s, 77 to be exact, and mid 70s at the airport. Now, temperatures area-wide still got a straggling 80 in Bastrop. Now we are already down to 70 in LaGrange, as well as Llano. Those are your two cool spots. We also have some lower 70s, even Giddings, getting down to 69. So you're really starting to cool off in Lee County. But we've got elm and cedar in the high for your allergens. Maple and alder are low, as well as mold in the medium. But if you're allergic to elm and cedar, which were both in the high, and we also had elevated levels of alternaria, you want to make sure that you are taking your necessary allergy precautions before you go out tonight. Mid 50s for your Saturday night. Winds are going to be calm for the most part, but we're going to get a good south-southeasterly push through the overnight hours. And the mid to upper 50s, that does include the Austin metro. It's mostly mid 50s, though, for areas along I-35. Maybe an outlier could be Lakeway checking in with a low of only 57. Now, for tomorrow, we're going to have partly cloudy and mostly sunny skies again. But we're going to be slightly muggier, which is why I think we're going to be getting to the upper 70s at least. I wouldn't be surprised if we got to the lower 80s at Camp Mabry, like what we got to the mid 80s today after I forecasted 82 for a high. We kind of overachieved a little bit because we saw a little bit more in terms of sunshine and the air was a little drier than we expected. But also, Monday night into Tuesday, that's going to be the main timeline. That's going to be your money shot right there for a few of those scattered storms, some of which might be strong, especially north and east of Austin, where we do have a 15% chance of maybe a few of those stronger storms. And I'm going to be in here tomorrow morning as well, and we're going to continue to fine-tune all of this before we see any more issues or anything of that nature, mainly in the Piney Woods, as well as portions of Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana. It's been updated a little bit to kind of reflect some slight changes. But now the bullseye still looks at Mississippi, northern Louisiana, eastern Arkansas, as well as the Memphis area for some of those stronger storms on your Fat Tuesday. Speaking of Fat Tuesday, right at midnight as Monday turns into the aforementioned Fat Tuesday, could start off with a few light showers. Model shows mainly along and east of I-35, but then watch this as we head through around 7 a.m. We have another good chance of maybe a few of those showers and could have a few embedded rumbles of thunder as well. And there's that main line, there's that frontal boundary right there through portions of the hill country. And then by the time we get to 8, 9, 10 o'clock, we're going to really start to watch Milam County at that particular point to see if we get any strong storms that pop up over sections of Milam County early on your Fat Tuesday before things dry out and become windier as we head through your Tuesday afternoon. Lower 70s for your highs on your Mardi Gras. Could be slightly warmer than that depending on how dry the air is behind that front. But we do expect to clear throughout the course of the afternoon. So if you have any Fat Tuesday evening plans, I think they are pretty much a go. But as we head through Wednesday, getting to the lower 70s and then a lower 80s on Friday to kick off South by. And we could have a few scattered storms by the time we get to next Saturday. So there's a lot that needs to be hashed out between now and next Saturday to see if we get another good storm chance. But I'm really starting to bank on your Monday night and into Tuesday. So that's pretty much to answer your question, Ashley. I know it's very long-winded, but I wanted to make sure I caught up everybody, those that missed it. So definitely want to say thank y'all for joining us this evening. I will be right back here on KVU News at 10 with all of the latest on your forecast, and I will see y'all then.